Hey traders, hope you are well and you've had a great weekend. Back to it now. It's Monday the 12th of April 2021, just gone 4 o'clock in the afternoon here in the UK. What news have we got coming up this week? Well, we've had our high priority news for today. So that's all over and done with. So tomorrow we've got USD CPI, core CPI news. That's 1:30 p.m. UK time. This could cause some volatility here. This Kiwi New Zealand dollar 3 a.m. rate statement from the RBNZ. Unfortunately, you're going to have to be a night owl if you like trading the news or set your alarm. Fed Chair Powell speaking at 5 p.m. 8:30 a.m. from Australia, employment change, unemployment rate news. More USD news at 1:30 p.m. Core retail sales news, and GDP out of China 3 a.m. So let's have a look at the Kiwi dollar against the US dollar. We'll have a look at that, and we'll have a look at Aussie USD as well. And not on here, but we'll have a look at pound as well, pound USD, because it is seasonally bullish. We've not seen it though so far this month, but we'll have a look at GBP USD anyway, and maybe another pound chart. So let's go to the chart. Let's have a look at Aussie USD. Aussie USD has been a big weekly uptrend, as you can see from here down in March 2020. There is a little bit of, well, not a little bit, there's a definite bit of a weekly resistance here, around about 81,000 level, which we haven't tested. We came into this level here. The high was just over the big number, 80,000 or 8,000, depending on how you want to say it. So are we going to come and test 81? Let's have a little look at the daily. What's the daily saying? Well, the daily's actually pushing to the downside. If you look at it, you can see this impulse, correction, impulse, correction, impulse, and currently in a bit of price action, which could be classed as a correction. So really for the past, I think there's about 13 or 14 days of their candles, it's not really done a fat lot. So just looking at price action, we can actually draw a bit of a horizontal. I've drawn it here because the lowest close was this candle here. So we've got a base there for the daily price action where price is failing to close below there. There's actually a bit of a box range going on, is there, if you look at that. So there's not a fat lot going on right at this moment in time, which is why that news could cause some movement and, you know, give us a direction. We've got a kind of a top up here as well. Again, you know, this was the lowest close, this was the highest high. We can see this is acting as resistance, and yeah, we've come into that support and we're consolidating. Now, are we consolidating for downside? In which case we'd be looking for a daily close below this level, or are we going to come up and push this back into this resistance here around about 78.20? So the news, when was the news coming out again? Thursday 2:30 a.m. So we've still got a few days to go. Yeah, we'll see if we get any movement before, but you could look for that daily close below here around about 75.76. If we get a daily close, then we would presume we're going to see further downside, and then you could drop into the smaller time frames and look for a short trade. If we get a daily close above this level here, because it's in a range, isn't it, then we could push back up into that 78.22. So keep your eyes on this little range here to see which. Look at the daily closes, okay? So you don't need to look at it every minute of the day. Look at the daily closes. If we get a daily close below here, we've got an idea that we could be looking for shorts. If we get a daily close above this level, then we should be looking for buys. Or, if you just want to stay out of this until the news is out, then, nothing wrong with that either. So the other news coming out was Kiwi. Let's go to the weekly on Kiwi. Kiwi's an interesting area. It's very similar to Aussie USD in the fact that it's been in a weekly or monthly uptrend since March, as you can see. It's come into a bit of an interesting area now, where we've got what was resistance here. It's now testing it, and as you may or may not know, when a resistance level gets broken, we look for it to become we look for it to be tested again, price to come back and retest it and look for it to become support. So this could become support here, and we could see a bounce. We could see buyers come in. Now let's just look at the daily. When you look at the daily though, you can see that it's very similar to the Australian dollar against the US dollar. The daily momentum is to the downside, and when you look at this candle or price action here, it looks more corrective in nature than anything else. You can see what I would call a bearish flag pattern going on, very similar to what happened here. Look, where you have an impulse correction. We've had another impulse. This is potentially could be another correction, so we could see downside on this. Now, whatever is said on Wednesday in the rate statement could be the catalyst to drive this down. So just be aware of that. Is it a bearish flag? When you look at price action, this is very, very sharp price action to the downside. This is, it's very nothing like this sharp price action. There is a bit of an uptrend though, but potentially just a correction for further downside. So that's what the chart's telling me anyway. But very interesting area, because we're at an area which was, like I say, resistance here on the daily time frame. We're now testing it, but this does look like a correction. It looks like it wants to drop lower, so we're going to see if that happens. So like I say, news is coming out. Unfortunately for us here in the UK, the news is coming out at 3 a.m. in the morning, so unless you are willing to set your alarm, you probably have to wait until when we kind of get up about 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. depending on what time you get up in the morning, and see what's happened. But yeah, it does look interesting. And where could this go to? Let's have a look. If this does drop, I just want to have a little look for you guys to see, potentially target wise. This looks like a nice area, guys. Can you see this kind of zone here? Drops a little bit lower there, but you can see wicks. Yeah, you can see lots of price action. So it's a little bit lower down. Yeah, that looks really nice. So if this does start to drop, guys, this zone here, right about 68.50, could be a nice zone to target. So keep your eyes on that. That looks quite nice, actually. I do like that. And we'll have a look at pound USD as well, because like I say, it's seasonally bullish, although we haven't really been seeing that price action so far. Daily, let's have a look at the daily. You can see the movement is to the upside. Okay, definitely on the bigger time frame, weekly time frame, definite push to the upside, and that's really been to do with the weaker dollar. Since the same time in March, the dollar's been selling off. It's been very weak, so a lot of these charts have been doing well against a weak dollar. So again, push to the upside. Is this a correction? Okay. Now, when you look at the smaller time frames, you actually can see it on the daily, but we'll just go down, into the smaller time frame. Potentially there's a double bottom setting up there. Okay, we've pushed down to this level. Where is it? 136.80. We've tested it there. Look at these wicks here, guys. Yeah, we've seen a wick into that same zone there and buyers come in. We've seen it there and buyers came in. But the last time it came in, you can see this 4-hour candle here today was an engulfing buyer candle. Okay, broke the high and the low of the previous candle and closed above it. So is that a sign now that we're going to see buyers come in to this market? Well, this would be a key high here to potentially look to break. Okay, we've seen sellers come in there on the 8th of April. So let me get my arrow tool. Now, which one am I looking for? That one. That level there could be a very interesting one to look for. To break, retest. Look for a morning star pattern here, maybe a bullish engulfing candle, a hammer candle here to indicate that buyers are coming back into the market. So we could be starting to see the start of some GBP strength coming into the market. And of course, today is when a lot of businesses, gyms, pubs with outdoor facilities, hairdressers have been able to open again, so that's good. It's good news. So that's why we could be seeing money invested into GBP again. Now, you don't have to look to a dollar pair or pound USD, if you like, to trade the pound. Look for something else. Now, if, for instance, the Australian dollar or the Kiwi dollar, like I've shown you, look to be potentially going to have another push to the downside, that would be weakness. Okay. Now, if we're looking at strength in GBP, weakness in AUD or NZD, then we can look to buy or look for opportunities to buy GBP AUD or GBP NZD. So, I don't know, let's have a look at GBP NZD. So the 4-hour, okay, it's still bearish. So we're looking for that change of cycle. There's your bullish engulfing candle, similar to what we saw on GBP USD. GBP, it started pretty bullish today actually, but has since kind of dwindled a little bit. It's kind of died off. So we're just looking now for price to continue to the upside. There's nothing major here that I can see. We're definitely not changed trend yet. We can still see lower highs and lower lows. But what might help you guys is if you put some EMAs on. I always find that the 20 EMA here in blue and the white EMA, this is the 8 EMA, are always a good indication or a good help to seeing that change of cycle. So those EMAs on the 4-hour, they're still in what we call a bearish order. Okay, the 20 is above the 8. On the hourly, have they crossed? They've actually crossed on the hourly. So that could be the very, very early stages of price changing trend. But the 4-hour is still bearish. I'd like to see those 4-hour EMAs cross like they did here, for instance. You can see they cross, price pulls away from the EMAs, pulls back, and then we see buyers come in again. Look, price pushes away from the EMAs, comes back, and then we see buyers again. So I'd like to see the EMAs cross. I'd like to see price push away from the moving averages, come back into the moving averages. Then I want to see buying come in again. And that would be the same for pound Aussie as well. I have been looking at pound Aussie myself because just removing the EMAs, looking on the daily, in fact, no, we'll look at the 4-hour actually. It's in a very nice ascending channel and it's come into the support area of the channel. So nice area to see buyers come in. Let's put the EMAs back on again on the 4 hour. EMAs haven't crossed yet. Okay, so a little bit of patience needed. Okay, so here, look, you can see they cross. We push away from the moving averages. We come back in. Then we see this candle here with buyers just starting to creep in. You're just going to be looking for the same thing again. Okay, so very, very early stages. But this week we could see pound dominate the market. You know, it remains to be seen. It's only Monday. It's early days, but something to look out for. Keep your eye on pound, and you want to be trading it against the weakest currencies, because that's where you're going to get the most movement. Okay, so no point trading it against a strong currency, because you don't trade a strong currency against a strong currency. You don't trade a weak currency against a weak currency. Okay, you trade weakness against strength, or strength against weakness. So pound Aussie, keep your eye on it. Pound Kiwi, keep your eye on it. And keep your eye on that news as well coming out in the week for Kiwi and Aussie. If we see weakness in Kiwi dollar, weakness in Aussie, then you know these pound charts could be really, really, really nice. And literally, you only need 1 or 2 good trades a week to make your money. Targets for pound Aussie, just in case you're wondering, anywhere at the top of this channel. Okay, you can see that the price movement is pushing to the upside, so top of this channel would be really, really nice, and that'd be an absolutely lovely trade. That would be job done for the week if we can get into something like that. So yeah, that's it from me. So keep your eyes open. Remember when that news is, especially if you're trading any of the other Kiwi pairs or Aussie pairs. Always keep your eyes on news and big news announcements. This is probably the most popular news website, if you like, forexfactory.com/calendar. If you don't know how to use it, you've got your little filter here. We just have the high priority news generally coming out, because those are the ones that's really going to move the markets. I have this little grey one as well, and that just tells me when there's a bank holiday in a particular country. There's no bank holidays this month, so nothing's coming up. So yeah, this is the high priority news. This is the news that's going to move the market the most. So always keep an eye on this at the beginning of the week and each day, because there could be some news coming up that could affect a trade you're looking at or that you're in already. Anyway, guys, that's enough from me. Have a great trading week, and make sure you're a member of the free trading channel on Telegram, because we put lots of free stuff in there. Also got a trader clinic tomorrow at 6 p.m. We've got the details of that in the free Telegram channel, so I'll drop the link in for the Telegram channel below this video. Make sure you are joined. It's totally free, and like I say, you get loads of free information. So from me, have a great rest of your Monday and trading week, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye, guys.